we released this system in 2016 called Trust Score, and this sort of mitigates the damage of cheating a fair amount. And the idea is that we sort of pay attention how you interact with CSGO and how you interact with Steam, and we use that to try and predict how likely it is that you're going to go on to receive a ban of some sort. And then we basically use that trust score to match as an additional factor when we're doing matchmaking, like in addition to your skill and what map you want to play and sort of other things. And that lets us sort of put known good actors in with other known good actors more often. And so as a result, our known good actors run into cheaters way less often. And this can sort of be more easily visualized. Like imagine this is just a population of players. Don't count them. There are 50 dots here. And so we need to set them into 5v5 matches. And because it is way easier to do with PowerPoint, maybe we set our matches up like this. Right? And so now we've created 5 matches, and let's find out how we did. So you have this sort of concept that we're going to introduce called the rainbow of trust. And we think that blue players are very unlikely to go on to receive bans, but red players are very likely to go on to receive bans. Now you might be asking, if the red players are likely to go on to receive bans, why don't you just ban them? And the answer is because they haven't cheated yet. Like we don't know for sure that they're cheaters, they are just more likely to go on to be cheating. But let's assume in this case that 5 of the red players are cheating. You can see that in the worst case here, like all 5 of these matches now have cheaters. We could draw our matches like this instead. And now we've created 4 good matches, and the players who we're most certain are not going to go on to cheat are very unlikely to run into cheaters. We have a bunch of data that shows that trust works really well. We actually launched trust about 6 months before we announced it. And during that time, we were gathering feedback, just general feedback, right? They didn't know that we were running the experiment, but and so what would happen is you'd see a thread pop up on like the Steam community forums where somebody would say, CSGO is filled with cheaters. And then you'd see quite a few someone else's who would reply and say, I don't really ever run into cheaters anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. But we would go and basically say like, hey, let's go figure out, what this person's trust score is. And we'd go and we'd look at the OP and you'd be like, this dude is tied to 50 accounts and 49 of them have bans for cheating. I don't care that that guy runs into cheaters. He should run into cheaters because he's definitely going to cheat again, but maybe he hasn't done it yet. So that's pretty much all I kind of wanted to say on trust. I did want to mention though, like a thing that's cool about trust is that it doesn't really reduce the rate of cheating, but it reduces the blast radius when people decide to cheat.